Hi, my name is Jimmy Janlén and I'm a consultant at Snowdrop.
I'm Jan Grape, and today we're going to talk about product-led transformations and how to make organizations really high-performing.
Today we're going to share a summary of hard-earned lessons from working with various companies who either were product-led from the beginning or that did a transformation to become product-led.
But what does it mean to be product-led? Let's have a look at what differentiates being product-led from other strategies. In a team-based organization, you can have different approaches to your success. In a customer-led company, like SimCorp, the customer is in focus, and the adaptation to whatever the customer need is something that makes your business. In an engineering-led organization, like Boeing used to be, you have pride in quality and great technology, and people will buy your product because of its excellence. Brand-led organizations or companies, they sell a lifestyle. So Red Bull, for example, sells soda, but you'll find Red Bull everywhere within extreme sports and high technology. Sales-led companies are perhaps the most traditional type of companies where they have a cash cow product and their focus is on profit and reduce cost in order to gain success. For example, SAP and Oracle. Some companies want to be on the leading edge of technology. We call them novelty-led because they sometimes introduce technology for its own sake, only because it's new and that's where the future lies. And finally, we have product-led companies where the product is in focus. The product is so attractive that people are lining up just to get access to it. Some examples of this are Dropbox, Spotify, Slack, Zoom, and other companies.
So, let's explore how the journey back to the feeling of a startup can look like. One way to tell the story is by going through the different maturity levels that the company transitions through. And as usual, as always, it starts with a brilliant idea, an exciting opportunity, and we're small, we're nimble, we're fast, and we're in the mental state of doing whatever it takes. And the first battle to win is to find a perfect market fit. But once we've done that, we grow into the next level, functional competence. We grow, we scale, and we specialize. Once we've done that, we've successfully getting shit out the window. Now we realize that we need flow. And now we start exploring cross-functional teams, automation, and we get better at tactical planning. Because what we're truly striving for is to be able to focus on and deliver value continuously. Building the products with the features that the customers truly want. And to do this, we master the art of getting rapid feedback, doing discovery and exploration to continuously evolve and create a better and better product. Let's map this to the different success strategies. In the beginning, we're typically novelty-led, or maybe even engineering-led, just building something great. And once we're over to functional competence, trying to learn how to build it and how to sell it, we tend to become customer-led because we need more money to keep on evolving the product. And once we've done that, working on flow, trying to get to value, we quite often lose ourselves in being sales-led, optimizing for profit and cost. And this distracts us or actually undermines our ability to get all the way to product-led with empowered product teams. So, if we have lost sight and we're transforming into something else, how can we get back on track to become product-led? To get back to the feeling of a startup. So how do we do this? Well, it's simple. No, actually it's hard because it requires courage. Determination to break status quo, have the stamina to inspect and adapt and follow it through.
To guide us through this, we have defined 8 crucial leaps of transformation. We're going to go through these leaps one by one.
The first thing we need to do is to create clarity on ownership and mandate. And we need to level up our agile teams to become product teams. Let's assume they have the basic capabilities of building, shipping, monitor production, etc. as we become more and more productive with AI-empowered teams, we need to speed up decision making by moving the decision mandate to our teams. Mandate over what? Well, their mission. What are their long-term responsibility? How do they measure success? And what are they building for whom? And the whom, that needs to be real people, real users. And what's up for them to decide? Well, they need to be able to choose which problems to solve, guided by their mission, of course, and choose how to solve them, and own and change their own roadmap. They need to feel they're holding on to the steering wheel. When they change their roadmap, it needs to serve both the customer and work for the business. But simply telling a team they're empowered and giving them decision mandate is not enough. We need to invest in platforms and tooling. For the teams to be able to execute on their mission and ownership, we need to make it easier for our product teams to do discovery, prototype, A/B tests, etc. But also to gather feedback, to measure user behaviors, monitor production, and when things go wrong, easily do rollbacks. I want to share a great example from Spotify. First, we have the squads. We would call them product teams today. And these are the ones we depend on for our success. They build features, aspects of the product that delight the users. To make it easy for the product teams to ship their features regardless of platforms, we have container squads, iOS, Android, desktop, web, etc., providing the scaffolding, routines, wizards, best practices, whatnot, to make it easy for the product teams to ship their features regardless of platforms. And to enable and support all of these teams, we have infrastructure squads, providing licenses, cloud services, etc., etc. To me, this is a brilliant example how an organization designs all functions, processes, and roles by how they empower the product teams in their discovery and delivery.
In order to make the product fantastic, we have to encourage risk-taking. We have to encourage calculated risk-taking, make experimentation easy and safe, and also allocate calendar time for this. This will lead to more innovation, faster learning, and higher motivation. Some things to think about is that we don't want specific innovation teams. We want the innovation to happen within the existing product teams. And also, when they experiment both with the product content and their own ways of working. And remember, when we fail early, we reduce risk, making the cost of learning minimal.
So how do we learn? Well, we fuel our product teams with learning loops. For our product teams to quickly learn the consequence of actions and what they build and the features, we need to make it easy for the teams to gather feedbacks in terms of the business impact, user adoption rate, and user behaviors, but also internally about their own performance and the quality they ship and deliver. And we need to make sure we close the feedback loops. It's not only about the defect rate, etc. We also quite often have untapped channels, such as customer service, social media reactions, etc. So we need to make sure to always make an effort to make all these feedback loops closer and closer and shorter. As we get more productive, we can use the insights from these feedback loops and get better at filtering out good from great. One example is King. They prototype and try tons of ideas, but they throw 90% of those in the bin before investing more time and energy. In the future, this won't even be enough. You need to be able to filter out 99% of the good ideas to find the 1% brilliant ones. To empower our teams, our product teams, the whole organization also has to make a shift. We need to shift to layers of supportive leadership. Shift away from what? Well, we need to shift away from hierarchies of decision makers that pushes down pressure and managers' work into layers of supporting leadership that supports and coaches the team, offers guidance and clarity, facilitates conversations and priority negotiations, and addresses organizational blockers and impediments, offer a clear path of escalation when teams can't fix it themselves. So this means disconnecting yourself from the actual game. You're not touching the ball, but you're not leaving the arena either. You're on the sideline, you're observing the game so that you can give good feedback and coaching afterwards. You can design practice sessions, and you can also discuss and elaborate with the team on which constraints do we have and which are useful or which are just sabotaging for ourselves. So no, it's an eyes on but hands off supportive leadership coaching approach.
Another leap that is essential is to have clarity on expectations on the teams. Even if you're an autonomous product team, you cannot do whatever you want. You exist in an ecosystem with other teams that you have to collaborate with, and everybody has to strive to a common goal. For that reason, you need some constraints, what's good to do and what you should not be doing. Areas where these constraints are particularly useful are transparency of your plans and progress and risks, etc. That you measure your own impact and with metrics and insights. That you're a good citizen helping out other teams to their success as well, and that you align the roadmap and business goals together with others to contribute to cross-company strategic goals and also to foster teamwork. One way of providing this clarity is to have a handbook for the teams to read and follow. Here are two examples, one from EasyPark and another one from Voyado, where they explain the expectation on each team, but also what good looks like and how to measure it. A leap that sometimes is forgotten is that your product strategy needs to be supported by the team topology and the technical architecture. The product strategy needs to be supported by the team topology. What teams build and take responsibility for is a crucial point in the strategy itself. The architecture needs to support the teams to make it easy for them to release independently and build awesome products and user experiences. Make it a habit to review and challenge the current state of your team topology. What teams do we need in order to create success? And what teams do we need in the future to sustain our success?
A crucial question to answer is, what do we reward? Celebrate results. Reward behaviors. To make change stick, we need to make the new behaviors the new norm. Rewards comes in many shapes, not only through the once-a-year salary bump or promotion, but through recognition, influence, positive feedback, public appraisals, and indirectly social status. As one takeaway from this video, you can download this screen in the description below. Ask yourself as leadership, if you look around, what leadership traits are rewarded? Which ones foster strong, motivated product teams? Is it the stuff on the left, being a busy hero, prove you're an expert, etc., or stuff on the right, collaboration and team goals, mentor, helping others grow, coaching others, etc. Take a look at yourself and evaluate. If you want a clue on where to start looking, well, look at your job descriptions, career frameworks, salary review processes. Who has been promoted? What bonus models do you have? Who gets to talk on all hands?
If you choose to embark on this journey, a final strong advice from us is to drive change together. Work as a strong leadership team. Establish a shared vision, a shared language, and a shared transformation roadmap. Together, product, tech, and design lead the product teams into the future.
And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching this episode on 8 transformational leaps to become product-led. If you want to know more, head over to our website and check out our books or free webinars. And yeah, until next time. Ciao!